It's a beautiful Friday morning right here in the city of Ibadan and from Yesma Radio, the First Media Academy Radio. I say good morning to you on behalf of the management and staff of Yemi Shunde Media House, where we are transmitted from Yemi Shunde Media House, Felele Christians, Felele Express, Yemi Shunde Christians, Felele in the city of Ibadan. Welcome to the newspaper review. My name is Ola Tunde Ido. I have four papers with me this morning: The Punch, The Nation, The Vanguard, and The Tribune. And quickly, without further ado, let's get down to the stories making the round this morning. Taking my first set of stories from the front page of the Punch newspaper. NDDC controversial probe. Wike fumes as police storm ex-MD's house. Officials clash with National Assembly. I won't accept any disrespect to National Assembly. That is credited to President Muhammadu Buhari. And 9 power plants shut down. 2.079 megawatt capacity stranded. Still taking more stories. Eagles didn't have my jersey size. Jokes, Akifenwa. Man 47 nabbed for impregnating 16-year-old daughter in Rivers State. Oshun man arranged for abducting neighbor's wife and kids. They're all on the front pages of the Punch newspaper. And checking out other stories from the Nation newspaper. PDP rejects APC's request to transfer Edo Matter to Abuja. And why Ihedioha is desperate to return by Imo government. You can find this on the pages of the Nation newspaper for today. And going straight to some other stories, the Vanguard newspaper says, I feel very safe in government house. Akpabio can't kill me. That's credited to the former NDDC MD Nune speaking there. NDDC probe youth fault attack on Omo Agege. It's on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper. COVID-19. Boa Foundation donates 200 million naira. 3 ambulances to Adamawa. You can find that as well from the pages of the Vanguard newspaper for today. And I slept with 10 men during initiation into Marine Girls Court, says 19-year-old. It's on the pages of the Vanguard newspaper. Tinubu condoles with Father Matthew Kuka over mother's death. It's also there. You can get all the stories from the pages of the Vanguard. Going straight to Tribune. Federal government loses to Saraki as court reverses forfeiture order on 2 houses. It's on the pages of the Tribune. NAS won't tolerate negative attitude from Buhari's appointees. That's credited to the Senate President Ahmed Lawan. NCDC confirms 595 new COVID-19 cases, bringing the total to 34,854. Buhari reiterates commitment to combat illegal mining activities. It's on the pages of the Tribune newspaper. Buhari reads Riot Act to ministers, MDAs, others on relationship with National Assembly. And all the stories, you can get them from the pages of the different newspapers I have with me this morning. And without further ado, let's get down to some of the stories making the rounds at this period. Today, Friday, the 17th day in the month of July 2020. Taking my first set of story from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I feel very safe in government house. Akpabio can't kill me. That's credited to Nune. Dismissed acting managing director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Joy Nune, yesterday said she feels very safe in the government house. Nunes spoke at the Government House, Port Harcourt, Rivers State, under the protection of Governor Nyesom Wike after he rescued her from police siege at her GRA residence. Alleging the Minister for Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, was the mastermind of the Mopol siege on her Port Harcourt home, she said, and I quote, "Akpabio can't kill me. I am from Uyo. I think he wanted to stop me from giving my submission to the NAS. He succeeded, but I think definitely the House of Representatives will give me another day and not more." The siege was perceived as a move to prevent her from flying to Abuja to make submission to NDDC Interim Management Committee spendings. Wike, fulfilling his early vow to protect the Ogoni River State-born former NDDC MD from undue danger, had swiftly rushed to her residence on getting wind of the said official vehicle to the Government House, Port Harcourt. Speaking to newsmen at the State House, Nune accused Akpabio of masterminding the police invasion. "I was supposed to be going to Abuja to make my submission before the House Committee. Meanwhile, the man that harasses me is at home. The man who stole the money, but I just wanted to make my submissions to the House. But with this, Nigerians will hear more. They say wise men who refuse to do anything suffer the rules of idiots. I feel very safe in Government House. Akpabio can't kill me." That's credited to the former NDDC MD. And you can get that full details from the Vanguard newspaper for this morning. And still staying with the Vanguard, Bode George tasked Southwest PDP Caretaker Committee on unity. Former Deputy National Chairman and Board of Trustee member of the People's Democratic Party PDP, Chief Ola Bode George, yesterday called on the newly appointed Southwest Caretaker Committee of the party to be a neutral arbiter, impartial role model, and must be seen to be guarded by fairness, truth, sincerity, with balanced justice and firm honesty. George said this while hosting the Caretaker Committee in Lagos. He urged members of the committee to rectify the wrongs, heal the wounds, and bring peace and amity to PDP in the Southwest. He said, and I quote, "To serve in this very crucial role, you have earned the trust of all our leaders and elders. The challenge given to you is of great responsibility and seriousness." The PDP leader also lauded the selfless leadership of Governor Sheikh and strengthened Governor Makinde by our collective insistence on ensuring that truth, equity, fairness, justice, tolerance, and goodwill prevail in all our undertaking. Bode George tasked Southwest PDP Caretaker Committee on unity. The Vanguard newspaper has that full story. Still staying with the Vanguard, Tinubu condoles with Father Matthew Kuka over mother's death. All Progressive Congress APC national leader Asiwaju Bola Tinubu yesterday commiserated with the Bishop of Sokoto Catholic Diocese, Dr. Matthew Hassan Kuka, over the recent passing of his mother, Madam Hawa Kuka. In a condolence message by his media office, Asiwaju Tinubu described the late Madam Kuka as a deeply religious woman who lived a blessed life. The APC leader said, "My heartfelt sympathy and condolences to Bishop Kuka over the recent passing of his mother, Madam Abashin Hawa Kuka, in his home in Kaduna." Tinubu condoles with Father mother's death. The Vanguard newspaper has that full story. And moving quickly to the Nigerian Tribune, court dismisses EFCC's move seeking final forfeiture of Saraki's properties. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has dismissed the move by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, seeking the final forfeiture of 2 houses in Ilorin, Kwara State, belonging to a former Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki. In his ruling delivered yesterday, Justice Rilwan Aikawa held that the contention of the EFCC that the property was acquired with illegal funds was based on mere suspicion. He stated that the evidence placed before the court was to the effect that the property was substantial. The governor is entitled to a house within the state upon completion of his second tenure. Justice Aikawa therefore discharged the interim order for forfeiture earlier granted in favor of the EFCC on December 2nd, 2019, and subsequently dismissed the EFCC's application for final forfeiture of the property. Court dismisses EFCC's move to seeking final forfeiture of Buhari reiterates commitment to combat illegal mining activities. I'm taking that story from the Nigerian federal government's resolve to end illegal mining activities in the country as he expressed concern over Nigeria's loss of close to $3 billion from 2012 to 2018 due to smuggling of gold. He made this known yesterday in Abuja during the official presentation of locally mined sourced gold bars by the Presidential Artisanal Gold Mining Development Initiative. The president said the implementation of the PAGMI scheme will result in the setup of accredited gold buying centers across key mining areas as artisanal miners and SMEs engaged in mining will be able to get value for what they mine. Buhari reiterates commitment to combat illegal mining activities. The Nigerian Tribune has that full story for today. You can go check it out. And still staying with President Muhammadu Buhari this morning, Buhari reads riot act to ministers, MDAs, others on relationship with NAS. President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday received in audit the distinguished Senate President Senator Ahmed Lawan House Asovila. The meeting, which lasted for almost an hour, was characterized by an engaging discussion on a range of key issues of national importance, particularly the role of the legislature as a critical component in supporting. In the course of their conversation, recent events at the National Assembly were highlighted, and the President re-emphasized his utmost respect for the National Assembly, adding that any disrespect to the institution by any member of the executive branch will not be accepted. I quote, and he said, ministers and all heads of department and agencies should at all times conduct themselves in ways that will not undermine the National Assembly as an institution, its leadership, and members. Buhari reads riot acts to ministers, MDAs, others on relationship with NAS. You can find full detail from the Nigerian Tribune. It's still the newspaper review coming to you from Yes Smile Radio, the First Media Academy Radio. We'll take a short for commercial break. I'll be back with more news.
Fẹ̀kọ́ kílọ̀bù ní sọ́ní dẹni yìí láwùjọ láti wá di gbajúgbajà nídìí iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ Yes Media Academy ní kó o máa bọ̀. Ìgbaniwọlé ti wá ń lọ lọ́wọ́ fún sáà ètò ẹ̀kọ́ 2020-2021 sáwọn ìlànà ẹ̀kọ́ bíi basic media class fáwọn tó ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀, master media class fún àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́, media management class fún àwọn ọ̀gá àgbà nílé iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ tó fi mọ́ executive class fáwọn tó ti rọ́wọ́ họrí tó fẹ́ mọ̀ nípa iṣẹ́ ìgbóhùnsáfẹ́fẹ́ ní Yes Media Academy. À ń kọ́ lákọ̀ọ́dúnjú ní broadcasting, advertising, media management, public relations àti public speaking. Láti wá kópa nínú sáìtù ẹ̀kọ́ 2020-2021 10,000 naira lẹ́ẹ̀fì gba fọ́ọ̀mù ìgbaniwọlé ní Yes Media Academy tó wà ní Yemishoni Media House, Yemishoni Crescent, Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Express bus stop, Fẹ́lẹ́lẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Tàbí kẹ́ kàn sí wa lórí ayélujára www.ysclimited.com/form. Telephone 0809-9902-666, 0902-9304-704 tàbí 0803-5529-883 ní Yes Media Academy. Wàá di gbajúgbajà lórí afẹ́fẹ́.
àṣìlù tó ni pé kò sígbà tá a daṣọ tá ò rí lẹ̀ fi wọ́. The Genius Camp Adult School ló jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. fatafata làwọn ìyá àgbà táwọn bàbá àgbà tí ò kàwé tẹ́lẹ̀ ń sọ ìbò níbẹ̀. láàrin ìgbà péréte làwọn èèyàn fi mọ̀ ọkọ mọ̀ọ́kà. ìṣirò àtòdiwọ̀n tá a mọ̀ sí measurement. àwọn àgbà ẹ̀yin òjíṣẹ́ Ọlọ́run tẹ́ fẹ́ máa fèdè òyìnbó wàásù. The Genius Camp Adult School ibẹ̀ ní kẹ́ máa bọ̀. àti mú un rọrùn fún yín lọ́nà tí ò ní paṣẹ yín lára. wíjẹ́ private teacher tí ó máa wá kọ́ yín níbi iṣẹ́ àbí nílé tí ò sì ní síṣòro. a ti ṣe ààyè fún online classes. The Genius Camp Adult School 59 MKO Abiola Way Ajé Ìgbé bus stop Ring Road Challenge Ìbàdàn àbísẹ̀gẹ̀lú bus stop New Ife Road Ìwó Road Ìbàdàn. ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wa wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn, ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀yọ́ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. láti mọ ilé ẹ̀kọ́ wa tó súnmọ́ agbègbè tiyín ẹ máa pe 08105150406 tàbí 08062727856. The Genius Camp ìgbédìde fóríṣiríṣi èèyàn láti tayọ.
oríire dé ọ̀nà ìrọ̀rùn dé láti donílé. Abúlé Ṣòwò Landowner. Abúlé Abúlé ṣòwò landowners. Ó yá kó o donílé. Lọ́nà ìrọ̀rùn ó yá. Tó o bá fẹ́ donílé. Wàrà léralẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀. Láláìsí báyóbáyó. Pẹ̀lú ìfọ̀kànbalẹ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ wọn. Oríire dé, ọ̀nà ìrọ̀rùn dé láti donílé. Abúlé ṣòwò landowners.
Abúlé ṣòwò landowners, ilé àtilẹ̀ wọn ní fọ̀kànbalẹ̀ láìsí bayobayo. C&O wà pẹ̀lú àwọn ilẹ̀ wọn, kò sí wàhálà àwọn ọmọ ní tibí pété kò sí. Ẹ kàn sí wọn ní head office wọn, Suite 5 Amen Event Center, Abẹ́sán Housing Estate, Ìpájà, Lagos. Ẹ pè wọ́n tàbí kẹ́ ẹ WhatsApp wọn lórí 080-340-64332. Abúlé ṣòwò landowners, ọ̀rẹ́ rẹ ni wọ́n tó ṣe é gbọ́kànlé nípa dúkìá.
All the hits, one station.
Yes, Media Academy Radio.
Thank you for being there with us. This is Yes Ma Radio, the first Media Academy radio, transmitting live and direct from Yemishonde Media House, Yemishonde Christian Felele Express, right here in the city of Ibadan. You're still listening to the program, the newspaper review, and I have been doing justice to the various papers I have with me: The Punch, The Nation, The Vanguard, and The Nigerian Tribune. More stories before we go. EFCC probe: Magu denies allegations of paying Osinbajo Falana money. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has written to the Presidential Committee investigating the allegation of mismanagement of the agency over what he described as publications prejudicial to the proceedings of the panel. In the letter addressed to the chairman of the panel, retired Justice Ayo Salami, one of Magu's lawyers, Wahab Shitu, referred to the claims that the suspended EFCC boss paid 4 billion naira to the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and an 8 million naira to a senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, Femi Falana. He explained that the allegations were completely false and an attempt to tarnish the hard-earned reputation of the Vice President, Magu, and Falana. According to Shitu, the suspended EFCC boss also denies any link with the Kaduna-based Bureau de Change operator, as claimed. Earlier, the Vice President and Falana denied collecting any money from the suspended EFCC boss. EFCC probe: Magu denies allegations of paying Osinbajo Falana money. You can get all the full details from all the papers we have this morning. And from the Punch newspaper, WASC reps to lobby governors over school reopening. The forum, which is expected to lobby the President Muhammadu Buhari to other reopening of schools. The stakeholders at the meeting agreed that if the September date for the commencement of WASC is to be met, there was the need for Buhari and the NGF to be involved in coming up with a timely and effective decision. They agreed that in the interest of the 1.6 million candidates registered for WASC, there was the need to agree on a date for the regional examination. One of the options is to find an acceptable date. The head of WAEC National Office Nigeria, Patrick Arehan, told the attendees about the logistics involved in the conduct of examinations, noting that it is a long process to print question papers, while preparedness for the examination takes so much from WAEC. WASC reps to lobby governors over school reopening. The Punch newspaper has the full details of that. You can go check it out. And still talking about the embattled former EFCC acting chairman, there's this headline that says, Magu will be cleared of allegations, reinstated, says Council. The suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Ibrahim Magu, yesterday expressed confidence that he will be reinstated to office. Magu, who was suspended last week by the President, Justice Ayo, after a car that was reversing hit her, said, and I quote, "We are not convinced